It started as a billionaire's dream, to build a sports car that could dive beneath the waves. What followed was a decades-long quest to make cars that can swim, float, and even dive. In today's countdown, we'll trace that journey from wildly expensive concept cars that never hit production to humble roadsters that actually made it into customers' garages. But one of these five has a secret feature that none of the others could match. Watch closely to spot which one defied physics itself. Number 1. Rinspeed Scuba. What if a car could actually drive underwater, not just float? The Rinspeed Scuba made that stunt real. Built by Swiss tinkerer Frank M. Rinderknecht's Rinspeed, a company famous for road-legal oddities, Scuba set out to be the first true submersible car. Its spark came from the Lotus Esprit in The Spy Who Loved Me, but the mission went beyond tribute. Create a vehicle that could leave the surface and move below it under its own power. Here's the twist you rarely hear with amphibious cars. Scuba sinks on purpose. A water ballast system pulls it down and trims buoyancy so it can cruise at up to about 10 meters deep. The cabin stays open for safety and weight. As Rinderknecht put it, for safety reasons, we have built the vehicle as an open car. So you wear scuba-style gear, breathe from tanks, and exit freely if anything goes wrong. Propulsion is all electric. Lithium-ion batteries feed a 75-horsepower motor for the road, about 75 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 near 7.1 seconds. Underwater, 2 electric motors and Seabob jet drives push it around 2 miles per hour. It's quiet and controllable, without relying on wheel paddling. Rinspeed also tested a laser sensor for self-driving on land, added efficient LED lighting, and thoroughly sealed the controls so you can operate key functions while submerged for saltwater use. Only one working Scuba was ever built. Development hovered around $1.5 million, and the prototype later went to a private collector. Between salt-proofing hardware, servicing batteries and jets, and post-dive upkeep, production made no sense, but the record stands. It remains the only car to truly run underwater. Next, the story turns to amphibious speed aimed at actual buyers. Number 2. Gibbs Aquada. When most amphibious cars crawled through the water, the Gibbs Aquada decided to sprint with serious speed. Conceived by Alan Gibbs, the Aquada set out to be a true high-speed amphibious car, fast on tarmac and quick on open water. It blended sports car thinking with marine know-how, aiming to let you drive to the ramp almost anywhere, skip the trailer, and be cruising minutes later. That dual-role mission defined every part of its development. The breakthrough sat in its patented hydraulic suspension. At the touch of a control, the wheels retracted up into the hull, clearing drag so the body could climb onto plane. A computer-managed, self-leveling system adjusted ride height and attitude, keeping the chassis stable as it switched mediums. That seamless changeover turned a road car into a planing boat in seconds, a trick most amphibians couldn't approach when this tech debuted. The headline numbers proved it. On land, the Aquada topped 100 miles per hour. On water, it ran over 30 miles per hour and had enough punch to tow a water skier. In 2004, it crossed the English Channel under Richard Branson's command in 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 6 seconds. The fastest crossing by an amphibious vehicle at the time. Those figures weren't theoretical. They showed the HSA concept working under real pressure. Despite the buzz, mass production never arrived. Regulatory hurdles stacked across markets, and engineering and manufacturing costs stayed high. Only a limited batch reached private hands. Still, the core ideas didn't fade. Gibbs protected the HSA architecture and retractable wheel system with patents, and that IP became the backbone for later Gibbs projects. From high-speed luxury to all-terrain adventure, the next chapter shifts amphibious power off the pavement. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 3. Watercar Panther. Meet the amphibious car that trades luxury for adrenaline, the Watercar Panther. Built in California by Watercar, it targets off-roaders who want to blast down a beach and keep going past the shoreline every weekend. Founder Dave March spent 14 years developing it and filed nearly 30 patents before the 2013 launch. Styled after a Jeep Wrangler with a fiberglass body, the Panther is engineered to shrug sand, ramps, and chop. Here's the puzzle. Marry a Jeep-like fiberglass shell to marine hardware strong enough to plane. The solution pairs a 3.7-liter Honda V6, making 305 horsepower for land with a dedicated water jet for the lake. On pavement, it behaves like a trail toy. Hit the ramp, move the manual selector to marine mode, and the jet drive takes over. The switch is mechanical, built for harsh bumps, wakes, and launch angles. Speed seals the deal. On land, the Panther reaches about 85 miles per hour. On water, it can hit 45 miles per hour. The V6's torque pops it onto plane, and the jet keeps drag low. The brand leans into thrills with the promise of the most fun vehicle on the planet. Expect around $200,000, plus the complexity of servicing both automotive parts and marine systems, a combination that pushes it out of ownership. That's why the Panther lands as the closest thing to a road-legal recreational watercraft. You can drive to the dock, splash in, and blast across a lake without swapping vehicles. It bridges car culture and boating with a single machine that delivers grins more than luxury. If your weekend is sandbars, trails, and ramps, this scratches the itch. Yet while Panther chased thrill seekers, another innovation quietly focused on practicality and sustainability. Number 4. Amphibious electric amphibious SUV. What happens when electric cars learn to swim? Enter the Amphibious SUV. It's conceived as a next-generation amphibious EV that treats land and water as a single operating envelope. The idea is straightforward. Use battery electric drive for quiet, clean road travel, then carry that same powertrain onto the water for short hops across lakes, harbors, or flood zones. Instead of bolting on marine hardware, the platform focuses on integration so the transition feels simple and quick. The headline twist is the propulsion. Amphibious proposes sealed in-wheel motors that handle both domains. On pavement, they turn the wheels as usual. In water, those same motors provide thrust without a separate propeller or jet, trimming drag and parts count. You engage a water mode, keep steering inputs familiar, and let the motors deliver controlled, low-speed maneuvering for docking, launching, or edging through tight channels where precision matters. That clean layout hides the hardest challenges. Every high-voltage component needs rigorous waterproofing. In-wheel motors, connectors, control electronics, and the battery enclosure all must resist corrosion and electrical faults. Then there's float behavior. Heavy packs shift the center of mass, so hull shape, internal compartments, and weight placement work together to keep trim stable as wakes and wind hit. Managing buoyancy and roll becomes as important as range or charging. Compared with gasoline amphibians, an electric platform promises zero tailpipe emissions, quieter operation, and precise torque control at crawl speeds. Attractive for urban water rescue, environmental surveys, and low-impact recreation. Early prototypes and pilot tests reportedly validated sealed in-wheel layout and stability. Still conceptual, Amphibious points the category toward electrification. From futuristic concepts back to attainable reality, the final entry brings amphibious dreams within reach. Number 5. Dutton Surf Convertible. Unlike million-dollar concepts, the Dutton Surf is something you could build in your garage. Tim Dutton's British kit car company takes donor SUVs, most commonly the Suzuki Jimny, and moves the mechanical bits into a new stainless steel and plastic hull. The result is a road-legal, water-capable convertible you can drive to a slip. It keeps the donor's drivetrain for land use and adds the marine gear needed for simple launches from a ramp or beach. Dutton designed the Surf for accessibility, not record books. It's tuned for calm rivers, canals, and sheltered coastal cruising, avoiding rough water and deep-sea ambitions. The focus is straightforward ownership, corrosion-resistant bodywork, a light interior, and no heavy ballast systems or exotic materials. You trade speed for ease of use, and in return get predictable handling on the road and a steady, low-stress experience on the water. The mechanical plan stays simple. A standard combustion engine powers the wheels on land and drives a water jet system in the water, avoiding complex hydraulics or advanced software. Controls stay basic, and the conversion relies on familiar components. On water, Dutton quotes about 6 miles per hour, enough for leisurely cruising and slow, controlled docking. These are built as roadworthy vehicles and available to order with completed examples or kits priced under $50,000 depending on spec and donor. That pricing undercuts exotic amphibians and keeps maintenance within normal DIY or local shop work. The truth sits in the middle. Cars that touch water exist, but most swing between headline engineering and delicate day-to-day use. Think maintenance after every launch, hard-to-source parts, storage space, and training. Which would you choose? Luxury fantasy or usable, affordable function? Subscribe for more automotive deep dives and future updates.